Guest today is Frank Calderon with Solid Waste Department. Welcome and happy holidays to you, Frank.
Thanks, you too, Michael.
Okay, Christmas is around the corner.
Literally.
Yes, it's just
next Monday.
Next Monday, a week from today, and so we have a couple things. One, what should the homeowners, the residents know about Christmas and Christmas trees? As far as they're not even up all the way, as far as disposing of them.
Okay, starting the 26th, they can be placed. Well, we have different things going on, actually. Our preference, so that we can make mulch out of them, is to have them brought back to one of our TRCs. Not all of them take, the list is available on our website, though, at miamidade.gov/ actually, miamidade.gov/Christmas tree recycling, all one word. We have a page just for that. And it tells you which TRCs will take them back, because those trees will be converted into mulch. As long as you keep them clean of, string of lights, tinsels, all that. If you can't do that, you don't want to do that, that's fine. We will pick them up. It won't count against you as any special pickup. We will pick them up starting, I want to say around January 10th, but they should be out. They can be out December, as early as December 26th. January 10th
That's
is
fine.
The first pickup.
Noon at Christmas Day,
yes.
Out.
The first pickup, and then January 24th is the drop dead. If you don't have it out by that day, we can't guarantee it's going to be picked up.
We don't have to do anything. Just put it out when the county's going by for the regular garbage.
As long as you're out by January 24th at the absolute latest.
On the website, can people see a mulcher at work?
We actually have video, a YouTube video. I don't think we posted it to our website,
But they go on YouTube, and they can look it up to see.
It's actually a wood chipper.
A wood chipper, a pretty big one.
Yeah.
How much fun is that when the guys throw it in there and you hear the grinding and the beautiful noise and the wonderful smell, right?
I don't know. I've never actually been there when they do that. I can tell you what happens is some people have this idea that they go and it'll be chipped right away. That's not how it works. They accumulate all the trees they're going to get. And then once they have them all, they take them. It's basically at the North Day landfill where they usually do this. And they have the machine there. And then they just spend a couple of days, however long it takes, a crew, like 2 or 3 people.
Thousands of them are there.
Yeah. And they'll sit there and they'll feed them into the machine. And boom, out the other side, you get mulch.
And how long after you mulch it, after you first get it, can people, is it a week later, 2 weeks later, and do they go to that site to get it?
Well, there are several different TRCs that where we provide the mulch, typically the ones that have the space to provide it at. It does take a little time because, operationally they've got a lot of stuff going. So when they have the chance to have somebody actually mulch them, then they make the mulch available, typically sometime in the spring. And we usually make some kind of announcement, whether it's on social media or something else.
So often, as consumers, we only see what we know at that particular point. So people put out their green and their blue cans, it goes away, that's all we know. Christmas time, we get it, we leave it in the street, and then it goes away.
Yes.
There's a whole big operation that takes care of our garbage and our bulk.
Yes.
More or less, how many people are in the department that are involved in this?
Total amount of people in the department, about 1,100. I want to say 800 to 900 are operational.
And how many homes does the county go to with the green cans a week?
About 345, 350,000
twice a week.
Yes.
So it's 780.
700,000 touches or so.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have a recycling by a different vendor, but they go twice a month.
Yes, once every other week.
So this is a gigantic operation, and then. Then the men and women who drive those trucks take it to a facility, and then you have more people there that are moving it.
Yes.
It's just an incredible the involvement that it is. Is the county still looking for, or are they looking for truck drivers?
We're always looking for drivers in general. I don't think we have the position announced at the moment, but every few months they re-announce it, they reopen it. So absolutely, keep your eye open. Visit miamidade.gov/jobs. Very simple.
And at jobs, it's many opportunities that are available.
Oh yeah, everything that's and not just our department, countywide, but yeah, that includes the waste truck drivers, as we call them.
So, and let's talk about the things that can be recycled. The things that go into the blue can. I want you to know we're in it. All right, we're in it to win it. All right, and we didn't get a ticket yet, so I'm pretty happy.
Awesome.
So anyway, we're really pleased to be able to do that. And as many times as I've been here, it is a family effort that does that, that makes that happen. And so we have, if we said, here's a can over here, that's for recycled stuff. Okay, then it's going to go in the bag, and we're going to put it into the blue thing. And in our area, it's Mondays and Thursdays for the green can. The blue can, people can go and they can look up to when it's out there. So you don't leave it out for a week ahead of time. You just put it out a day or so.
Yeah, because it is every other week.
So what are some of the products, end-use products that people can recycle?
There's several different things that we'll take in our program. There, a lot of things can be recycled, but our program, we take a limited amount of things just, because it's not feasible to take more in our program. So cardboard boxes are a big one, and now with the holidays coming, you're getting cardboard boxes coming in before the holidays, and you're getting cardboard boxes going out after. So that's recyclable. The gift wrapping paper, as long as it's like not foil, but just like plain paper, is recyclable. Food and beverage cans and bottles, a lot of that stuff going around also for the holidays. All that's recyclable. For boxes, we'll even take pizza boxes as long as they're not totally greasy. Cartons, like eggnog and stuff like that. We'll take that. Well, we won't take those plastic bags. Number one, light strings, we don't take that either. We also don't take if you got ribbons, bows, or any type of material that you tie around a package. That won't go.
So people have to separate that.
Yeah, that won't go.
There are other programs in different around the state and around the country that might recycle that stuff.
Some of those things, yeah.
But the vendors you've selected don't do those yet. But we know that they did add on pizza boxes not too long ago because they figured out people eat a lot of pizzas. I'm going to guess that 35 to 40% of our garbage from here are boxes. We go directly from cutting them open and taking the package out. That doesn't include the internal box. We just take them and we put them right in our things over here, for the guy to come pick it up. It certainly has increased a lot. And it does take a little work to be able to break it down so that you can easily get it into the blue containers. And so when they pick them up,
they don't get jammed in there.
Right, and because they grab it, I know it squeezes a little bit, and so they don't get jammed in. And so people should also keep the tops, the blue, the
ideally yes,
covered.
Ideally yes, because you never know when it's going to rain, like all of last week.
Yes. So let's talk about a bulky waste. Right here, it's the end of the year. And in one case, a lot of people are going to lose their two big pickups, but we have a new year that starts. So tell us if somebody says, okay, I'm ready to go. I got all this stuff, the in-laws, outlaws, everybody's gone. Let's clean up the mess. So what's the process?
You do have, if you're entitled to two pickups each calendar year from January 1st through the end of December. If you still have a pickup left, there's still time until December 31st. You can schedule it. Now, here's the catch, though. If you were looking forward to beautifying your yard because you were going to have a party on Christmas or Christmas Eve or something like that, I'm sorry to tell you, all the December appointments are gone. But as long as you set an appointment December 31st before midnight, your appointment is even if the appointment falls in January or February, I don't know how far we are, but even if the appointment falls in the new year, as long as you did it this year, it counts towards this year's pickups. So you'll still have, beginning January, you'll still have your two pickups left. But like I said, if you were hoping that you could get the stuff gone before Christmas of this year, I'm sorry, those appointments are all gone. So it's first come, first serve.
So people should set the appointments and then move the trash out rather than the other way around.
That's correct. That was always the rule, but now it's more important because now you only have a 3-day set out window. So now the benefit now is that you pick the specific day. So you don't have to, in the past, you set it out and they can pick it up between today or 10 days from now. So it would just sit there getting brown.
Now you can set the date.
Now you pick the date specifically, whatever's available. There just aren't any more December dates. So, but you can pick the date and then 3 days before your date, you can set it out.
And so what I've learned to do is I live in horse country and people like to dump their trash all over. Mm-hmm. So when I use the service, I go ahead and I dump my stuff, I put it out there and I take a picture of it. Just so when the guy comes on and they start dumping more and more stuff in it, that it doesn't go beyond that. And we see here at our office, people continually just dump the trash outside of the trash, not even on the ground. which is a whole nother problem. But speaking of challenges, on 118th Avenue and 54th Street, on the east side of 118th Avenue, there's a big pile of trash. So maybe the guys will go pick it up soon. I watched it, and they just dumped it on the side. It's so important when they do that. I'm not talking about a cigarette butt, all right, or a Coke can. We're talking about this 20 feet long, 10 feet wide. And it's so disappointing because now the county has to go spend extra money to go do that when people should have done that themselves. They could have done it right in their own property and it wouldn't have cost them. So I hope the guys get caught, but I know the county has camouflage cameras. Can we talk about that again?
Yeah, we have cameras. We have some live cameras, and some are like the kind that hunters use, the game cameras, basically, to monitor an area. They're not live, but they can catch license plates. They can catch other identifying information. Don't think that just because you hide your license plate, you won't get caught. There are other ways that they can identify. So, just be careful of that. We do have some live stream cameras. We had a case not that long ago where they used the live stream. The officer was sitting there watching live stream, watching these guys in a rented moving truck. I won't say which brand, but everybody kind of knows which brand it is. But in a rented moving truck, they were dumping stuff out. They were 3 brothers. 2 of them were twins. It was very sad that this happened, that they did this, but they did this and they got caught on a live stream camera. While they were out there, the officers, our enforcement officers looking, calls the police, tells them the location. The guys finished dumping. They drive away, but they were only a couple blocks away before the police stopped them.
And they got
2 of them got arrested.
Restrained.
Arrested.
That means
officially arrested.
That means handcuffed, back to the police car, go downtown or the 36th Street.
Yeah, to the jail. Yeah, and get your mugshot taken. Yep.
What are you in here for? I dumped some stuff out of my truck. Nothing sexy.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know, and we talked about it before, in the unincorporated homestead area where there's a lot of very rural areas where it seems like it's free to dump stuff. The reality is if somebody dumps it on the side of the road, that might be somebody's private property, which the private property owner is responsible for that. And plus it's a lot of grief. And they're going to get caught at some point, and it's unfair to the property owner who has to deal with that. I know some of the guys down there, they're putting up all these signs, this area monitored, goes somewhere else. And so I hope that people learn their lesson. And I was looking at, there was so much trash on the 118th. I am sure there's some identification in there somewhere, I'm hoping.
That's one of the ways that's one of the ways they investigate.
When people sort of complain, I say, it's probably one of our neighbors, right?
Might be.
All right, don't forget that's maybe a possibility with that. So again, if people have trash in their trucks or their car, they can take it to one of how many trash recycling centers?
We have 13. As long as they get garbage pickup service from us, basically, they can use the TRCs. There's 13 of them. They're all over the county. We have them in Northeast, Northwest, West,
and they can
South.
Look it up on
our website, Miami-Dade.gov/solid waste.
And how many days a week are they open?
They're open the only day they're going to close are the 3 holidays, and Christmas Day being one of them next Monday. Otherwise, they're open 7 to 5:30 p.m.
And you have to have your identification, your license showing that you're here in Miami-Dade County. If they are in a city, or there's 34 cities here, that's okay.
Only if the cities that we pick up garbage in, which is I believe 10 of them, and the unincorporated areas. Wherever you have to be our customer. You have to have put your garbage in one of our green carts.
And if they're in a city like Coral Gables, they have their own garbage pickup.
They have to talk to their city, find out what they offer. You're going to
call them up, say, hey, I got all this stuff. The other thing that we always consider here, especially, is I got a guy. I call him up, and he picks up all this stuff. He cleans it. He can go into the closet, take the stuff out. I'm really excited because I don't have to pay my guys to do it. I'm paying somebody else, and they do it without any particular grief. And they recycle. I asked him how they do it. They have this big warehouse. They put the cardboard over here. They put, if there's computers over there, and they do that stuff. So they make money on that other end. So again, if somebody wants some information about Miami-Dade Solid Waste, they can go to
Miami-Dade.gov/solid waste, or they can call 311.
Right, 311 is really good. They've gotten. I've become aware recently how good they really are, and they want to take care of it because they want to do a good job. Two, they don't want somebody turning them in, right? So whatever the motivation is, that's great. So again, people can go to solid waste. They can find all the different things that are in there. We know there's a recycling information that's there, and if on the recycling and the blue cards, does everybody have a blue card, or do they have to request it?
Everybody who's on our service should have one. Some cases, people move into a house and it's missing, so they do have to put in a request. But for the most part, they should already have one.
And for clarity, if you're in an apartment building, the county does not service the apartment building.
That's correct.
They have their own private pickup.
They're supposed to have their own recycling program. They'll have their own garbage pickup for sure, but they're supposed to have their own recycling program.
So they don't call the county; they call the homeowners or the management or the apartment, and to be able to do that. And we know that hauling away garbage is really expensive. I've seen some of the monthly bills for people to go up, and it wasn't too long ago. Here it was a couple $100s. I don't even look anymore because it just gets really, really pricey. Again, let's go back to on recycling. And then also on littering, different than dumping. So let's first talk about littering. What impact does it have on us as consumers and Dade County residents when somebody flicks a can right out the window or some paper trash? What's involved in getting that picked up?
Well, that's a little bit tricky. A lot of times that's not something that we would address as illegal dumping. There's some areas where we do have a program we call Let's Clean Things Up for neighborhood litter. We typically work with our commissioners, the 13 commissioners on that areas in their within their districts where that are known for having a lot of litter. But there are other programs. I believe the state has on state roads they have Adopt a Street, that type of program. And what happens is an organization will adopt a certain section of the street, and by doing that, they volunteer to go out so many times a year to clean up the litter on the side of the road.
So Frank, when somebody litters and it just goes out the window, that might float around for a couple of years at different spots.
It could go into the storm drains, which eventually find its way into either the canals or lakes or even the bay.
So sometimes on YouTube and on Facebook, you can see how when these drainage pipes get clogged up, what kind of damage that occurs. In the city of Miami on 27th and US 1, the water went up to the drive-through at McDonald's. All right, the water went up, street, sidewalk, and up. And you know what it was? The drains were clogged up. They had a thing over there to suck all that stuff out.
Sometimes it's natural, like palm fronds and stuff. They just fall down from.
Yeah.
But a lot of times and the palm fronds might trap the litter that people throw out of their cars and stuff like that, and make it worse.
And on the other end of that, we have people ask, well, where does the water come from? The clean water, and the answer from the typical water department is from the spigot. But once you understand, all of this is connected.
Yeah,
it is 100% connected to how we consume products, how we recycle them, and how we dispose of them. So you have young children. Do they express, hey, how do we do more recycling? What's their connection to this whole process?
Well, kids tend to be the ones a lot of times that spur the parents on for recycling, not just get them to motivated to actually recycle, but what's right and what's wrong, what's correct, what's not. We do go and speak at schools from time to time, and teach the kids what's recyclable in our program. We hope they go back and tell their parents, hey, mom, dad, this is the right thing to put in. Don't put plastic bags. Enemy number one. We hammer that so much because that's the worst item.
Because we think that it is recyclable, but
it's not in our program. It can be taken back. I've noticed it more and more. A lot of retail stores will take them back. Grocery stores, they'll take them back. And some of them don't even care if it's a different brand. But check first. Don't assume. They'll take them back. But if they do, that's a good place to take them.
Certainly one of the things we can do as consumers is have our reusable containers, because then you don't have to do it. Right? It's harder for the guys to carry in all the bags at one time, but we give it a shot anyway. So you do that too, I can tell.
Oh yeah.
So again, Jean Marie Massey is a recycling manager.
Yes.
Right. And sometimes when she comes, she has about 50 different things, and she's so fun. So I hope the rest of the school year, another 4, 5, 6 months, she'll be able to get out to some selected schools, be able to have that conversation. So here we are, 2023 is winding down, and let's look forward a year or so in the field that you're in. What does it look like if it's any different than it is today?
What does it look like? I don't think that was going to be a lot different. Not in a year anyway. Going down a few years, we'll have, for sure, we're looking at this now, new facilities for disposal. As far as and that's the disposal side, new technologies, using or reusing more of the waste, recycling more of it, possibly even composting. Other things that we're looking at on the collection side is more likely have trucks, more electric trucks. More than likely, I mean, I don't know for a fact that that's going to happen, but we tend to be moving in that direction as a society in general. So,
and we know a lot of the metro, a lot of the buses have use different types of fuel. So you do have one beautiful new all electric vehicle garbage truck.
Yes.
And there's another name. What is the other name you call it?
Electric waste collection vehicle.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet. All right.
Yes.
Except for when they go in reverse. Thank goodness we hear that noise. All right.
Yeah.
So, and is there a particular area that truck is in?
I think they use it in Doral.
And is there something different about it when you look at it, other than it's new? Is there something this is EV or not?
Just the stuff that we put on it. There's one tiny little detail because it's by Mac. They have a bulldog like their mascot, and there's a bulldog in the front. From what I understand of most Mack trucks, the ones for the electric are copper, so that's kind of a little unique feature, but it's something you have to look for. Otherwise, you see it driving down the road. If it's just strictly based on sight, you wouldn't know it's electric unless you saw where it says electric on it.
We had an opportunity to talk to the gentleman that was the driver of that, and there were 6 or 7 together. Who's driving that? He was proud to be able to do that. And to be the first one, and to have that skill to be able to understand the vehicle a little bit better. So if somebody wants a job over there, they can go look at they can go online, and then to drive the trucks. All right, they need their commercial driver's license.
Yes.
And there's training classes on how to do that.
Yes.
When they go out, ultimately they're by themselves. All right, and GPS or whatever the county uses shows them the route. And how many days a week is that?
They work 4 days a week. They work on what they call a 4x10 schedule. 4 days, 10 hours. Anything beyond that is overtime.
And they have the joist thing stick, moving the handle, the grabber up there. And whenever I put out my green cans, you know what I do every time? 5 feet. Every time.
Yes.
I think of you, Frank. Every Sunday.
The beauty of that is you don't have to sit there and take a measure. That's just the kind of thing I'd do. My wife would be annoyed. And actually measure 5 exact feet. Just spread your arms out. Yep. That's it.
So every Sunday around 2 o'clock, I'm thinking of you as I haul it out there. Frank, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for
Merry
having
Christmas.
Me. You too.
May this new year be blessed for you.
And
folks,
you too.
Thanks for joining us again. And many thanks to Ray Shell for doing the show. Have a great day. Bye now.